Grand day, everyone. I just wanted to come and talk about accountability, uh, holding the right person accountable. And before we can hold someone else accountable for any of our hurt or anything towards us, let's first start with ourselves. I have a definition of accountability, and that is taking responsibility for your own actions, decision, and their consequences without shifting the blame to someone else. It involves being honest about what you did, owning mistakes, and making an effort to correct them or do better. Oh my goodness, that right there said so many words. So many words where people don't first hold their self accountable for situations that they are in or had been in. It's easy for someone to hold another person accountable for their hurt. And I'm not dismissing to say that the person did or did not hurt you or an individual, but we first have to hold ourselves accountable. Me, I am good for analyzing myself. That will ask, what I ask myself is, what decision or what choice did I make that put me in a predicament or open myself up to be hurt by an individual, if it was a companion, if it was a friend, if it's family member, or whatever the case may be. I like to ask myself these questions so I can analyze and see what I need to do differently, the decision that I made or the choice that I made. And I know lately that starting the podcast, we've been talking about my past relationship. And again, I held myself accountable because you hear me saying that from the age of 14 to 20, that I first dealt with this individual, meaning that him being 10 years older than me, I'm 14, he's 24. I'm 20, he's 30. So I hold myself accountable being a 14-year-old dealing with someone that was 24, me a minor where he is an adult. And it was again a decision or behavior that was made, and it was that can change. It's history. But this is where we are. So I hold myself accountable, and to make those corrections, to make sure that, hey, how you doing? To make sure that as I'm raising my children, then these are not decisions that they're making. Give me one moment, because you see that I'm at work, so I got to get customers in between. So hold on. Okay, I'm back. I forgot I was having a poker tournament today, but like I was making a statement about my children and everything. I can remember my daughter. I know she's gonna be like, "Why are you telling my business?" But she was 18. She wasn't a minor. She had already 18, 19, but she had already graduated from high school, going to college. And I remember a guy that was older than her. He had to be probably around the same, like 10 something years older than her, that wanted to talk to her. And I'm like, oh heck no, this Negro, got children and everything else, and he basically living adult life. You enjoy your life, you just getting out of high school and everything. But it brought back again me 14, 15, 16, 17 up until 20, dealing with a man that was 10 years older than me as well. I don't, even though I did it, I still didn't want that for my daughter, and I addressed it. So, but that to say, like, I'm not projecting my anger on somebody else, but I'm taking on full responsibility. So now that I'm older and the situation occurs again, it brings up those old feelings. So that's how, even when you hear me, I'm like, something happened. So it do. It bring up those old feelings. And again, I can hold myself accountable and say, how did you allow yourself to be put in this predicament? How did you allow yourself to be put in this predicament? It was a decision that was made. When those feelings came up, it was just, I felt back in it all at the same time. But of course, now you have other people that per se is involved, but now you have misplaced anger. Misplaced anger, meaning that you are directing your anger at the wrong one, the least intimidated person, instead of holding the one that you should be holding accountable. And that plays a big part, just just the same way for someone that probably grew up in an abusive household, or whatever. And say for instance, if it was, domestic violence between mom, dad, or vice versa, or whatever the case may be, most of the time the children are the ones that get it the worst, because the anger, the misplaced anger, instead of them holding the other person accountable, this is how these children get abused, because mom did X, Y, and Z, or dad did X, Y, and Z, because they're not holding the true person accountable that needs to be held accountable. That's as simple as that. So again, when you're holding the right person accountable, you don't have time to direct your anger at somebody else, which is really good that we are talking about anger right now, because I said that next week topic is going to be with the anger management coach, and she will be able to talk on these different behavior, or excusing these bad behavior from somebody and not holding them accountable and everything, but which would really, really, be good. So overall, I've been saying that, right now it's an open book. I'm free of answering any questions that need to be answered. And I do hold myself accountable pertaining to the relationship, not what occurred before, but pertaining to the relationship and how I allowed myself to be in the middle of that relationship. So I'm excited. And again, if you all have not, because all of the topics, not so much going to be posted on my personal page, but it's going to be posted on the Do Not Play With Me PC, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, as well as TikTok. If you're interested, you have any questions, DM me those questions, because I am open to answering questions that you may have. If it's something that's how did you get through this, or how do you get through this? I'm willing, especially when we have these life coaches and everything, have them there and let them be able to answer these questions for us. Send your questions so we can get it question. I like the engagement. My sister had used this example today, about a battery, a battery for anything that we use this battery for. That in order for it to work, so let's say a vehicle, in order for it to work with the battery, that you have to have a positive and you have to have a negative. And so again, I am built for it. I'm not saying no the negative or the negative comments or whatever, but be prepared for it to be addressed as well too. You have to hold yourself accountable for the words that come out of your mouth. I don't have to accept the things that you say. I will be able to respond, or not just even saying me, other people, because there's other people that's on these social medias too, that they have the right to respond. Be open about it. And not only that, let's just engage. It's about healing for everybody. Even the on watchers, you're going to have a lot of people that's looking and can be healed from these different things. Just because I'm no longer bound or in bondage, you can't be upset with me. You shouldn't be upset with me. It was what it was. And now I'm free. I recognize it. And I'm excited about it. And I'm excited about this podcast. But that was one thing that was on my mind today, is saying accountability. Accountability. I know where I hold myself accountable from 14, 15, 16 to 20, and then now. But what I will tell you is that that will never happen again, not with that individual and no one else. I know my worth. I know my worth. But that will never happen again. But I'm excited. I'm excited to be open and honest. I'm excited, even, to see what's next and the other remarks and everything that come through. Um, But again, if you have any questions, any comments, definitely feel free. Send them, DM me, because I do want to have questions prepared for the interviewer or the anger management coach, life coach for her as well too. And I'm excited, and I really appreciate you all for being engaged. I appreciate the support and everything that I have been getting. So until next week, you all have a good one.